Alright, welcome to Discount Ted. Today we're changing the oil on my Cayenne. And I got partially started because I thought there's no way there's anything special about changing the oil on the Cayenne. And then of course I got under it and realized no, they made it a huge pain. So I figured I'd make a quick video and show you what I'm looking at. So the first thing I did, I've got the car jacked up just a little. You may not need to do that, but I'm big and I like to have space to work. So on each side, there are these little trim panels, and they're held down by two T25 Torx bits. The Torx bits are underneath the car over here, and then there are two Phillips Head Screwdrivers, or Phillips Head screws. One goes through right here, and the other one through right there. So I was able to get to both of those without moving the wheel or anything like that, because they're all pretty far inboard. But took those off mainly because these are the turbo inlet pipes, and you'll drain a little bit of oil out of there just to get oil out of the intake. So there's one of those on each side. This is the driver's side that I'm showing, or the left side. And flipping around, there's the passenger side, but same deal. Same two Phillips heads inside the wheel well, two T25 Torx bits on the bottom side. So then you look underneath and there is no drain plug to be seen anywhere, and that's because this whole shield here covers it all. So we need to take off a bunch of 10mm / T30 bolts. So there are three up front here. There's 1, 2, and 3. I don't have like a little impact I'm going to use or anything, so I'm just gonna, I broke them loose with my 10mm, and then I'll use my T30 screwdriver to take them off. And so those are the 3 at the front. Go a little farther back, you have 2 more. So 2 more there. And then you go way, way back behind the transmission. You've got 2 more way back here. And you can see there's a little lip there. So once you get it loose, you'll push this forward, up and forward, and that's how you get it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get going on removing that, and then I'll continue the rest of the video. Okay, quick update. As I'm recording here, I'm learning, guys. So I said there were 3 at the front. There's also 3 in the middle here. So there's one here on the outside, 1 in the middle, and there's another outside one right there. Those, this middle one appears to hold the 2 pieces of the shield together. So I want to leave that one on and just take out the outer ones. So I'll get those down and get the whole thing out. Okay, apparently Billy Mays designed this under tray, because just when you think you got it, but wait, there's more. There are 2 more here at the middle. So you've got 3 at the very front. You've got the row of 3 when you get just a little farther back, and you want just the outers of those. Then you've got 2 in the middle here again that you got to get out, and then 2 at the very back. So if my math adds up there, you've got 2, 4, 6 plus 3 is 7 that you have to take out. And again, they're all 10mm bolts with a like T30 inside of them. So one thing while I got the video going, so you see the very back ones here have this sort of like metal, I don't know what to call this, but like metal bracketry to hold the whole thing together. So if you try to put the screws back in, you may not have that down towards the bottom where you need it. So you might have to use your finger to just push it back, just like I did there, where you can see this moves up and down kind of thing. Just push it into alignment with the bolt hole. So a couple more bolts to get out, and 1 more push, and we'll get this tray out. All right, as you might have guessed, now that I got a little farther, yeah, we're still missing a couple bolts. So I said the 3 here at the front, we did those. We did the 2 outer ones right after that. We did the 2 in the middle, we did the 2 at the very back. The ones we're missing are up here at the very front, behind the turbo inlets. There's 1 on each side there. So we're gonna do those ones. And so now if I do my math here, I've got 5 at the front, 2, 2, 2, so that's 6 plus 5 is 11 bolts you have to take off just to take off this stupid shield. And yes, you do have to take the whole thing off, because now that I've got it a little loosened, you can see what we're looking for here is our drain pan, and it is forward of just this, or forward of this second half piece. So yeah, got to take the whole thing out, got to do all 11 bolts, and hopefully this isn't something I have to do every week. All right, 11 bolts down, and we've got some visibility into what we're doing now. So let's hop underneath, and you can see right here at the front, this is our oil filter housing. So when we change the oil filter, it's right there. We have a lower oil drain plug, and there's also an upper oil drain plug back behind it. So going from front to back on the car, you got your oil filter housing, lower / main drain, upper drain, and then no, that's not your transmission. Your transmission, you can see, is a bit farther back there, and has a nice VW logo on it. So no, that's not your transmission drain, or your like transfer case is even farther back behind that. So there's an upper drain that apparently holds about another quart or so. So these all look like some sort of, I mean, they're an Allen key. I'm gonna guess probably like an 8mm Allen. No, that's way too big. Probably 5mm Allen. I'll figure it out and let you know in the comments, and also once I get this draining. So let's go get our drain pan and some Allen keys. Okay, so I've drained the oil, and now I'm doing the oil filter. Traditionally, I use one of these like adjustable oil filter wrenches, but this is actually a pretty small housing to where this wrench didn't do it. I had to go to this other set of tools I just happen to have around, which is a like an oil filter housing wrench. This one I think said it was 70, hang on, let's see what it says, 74 to 76 millimeter. Don't know which size that is, but with some careful putting it on and twisting, was able to get it cinched on there, and now it's kind of hand tight. As for the drain plug, I said, oh, it's probably like an 8mm Allen wrench. It actually is an 8mm Allen wrench. It's truly painful, guys, to be this good at just eyeballing stuff. It ruins all of the surprise in life. But yeah, 8mm Allen for that, and 74 to 76mm for the oil filter. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this off and show you how to put the filter back together once it's out. All right, so the oil filter housing is now off, and you can see the big old hole there. In my case, the oil filter fell out, but don't be one bit surprised if your oil filter just like sticks up in there and you have to pull it off. That's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. But now, your oil filter should have come with a new O-ring, and that O-ring goes right here on the bottom of the oil filter housing. So you can use a pick. I just tend to use a screwdriver because I can always find one faster than a pick. And you pry underneath there, get that guy off, and then just use a little bit of oil on the new one as you flex it over. I didn't bring a stand out here for the phone, so you're just gonna have to kind of take my word on how this works. Let me see if I can do it one-handed, but I don't think I'm quite that talented. And yeah, hazards of working outside. Sometimes your shit just blows away. All right, I'm going to get this swapped over and then get it sealed up. Okay, so just use a screwdriver to pry that guy off, and then the nice thing about the new one being orange is you can see exactly where it goes. So you should make sure there's just a little bit of oil on that. You know, some people take like a cap full of oil and get all fancy with it. Me, well, I've already got oil all over my hands, so it got some just putting it on there. And then there's a little bit of oil still in the housing, so I rubbed some of that on my finger and rubbed around it. Now it's time to go ahead and put the new oil filter in and put the housing back on. I think I can do all of that one-handed, so let's get my garbage out of my way. And we will just shove this filter onto there, and it should stick for us. Great. And now take our housing, go over it, and We just need to get a few threads in hand tight, and it'll stay there for us. Great, 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 great. Now, these plastic housings, a lot of people whine that like, oh, you've got this, you know, two-piece cartridge filter and plastic's gonna crack and, you know, all those issues. But I will say one nice thing about them is they have a very clear bottoming out. So I'm not gonna say you can't over tighten them, but there's a very obvious, like, great, this is how tight it's supposed to be, as opposed to, you know, spin-on filters. Sometimes there's some ambiguity there, right? You can go too tight if you don't know what you're doing. So I got that pretty hand tight. I'm gonna go ahead and use the ratchet just to get it a little bit tighter, and then really gonna start putting all of my shields and stuff back on. Some people will say, oh, you know, leave the shields off so you can run it for a little bit, make sure it's not leaking. I'm not gonna do that because I just don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So it'll leak or it won't, but I'll have a dipstick and can tell. Okay, I've got all 11, yes, 11 bolts back in. But I want to say some of the process, how I put it in, just so you know. I started with these two up front that were the ones I forgot about at the beginning. And you can see by how that washer's moving around, I just put them like 5 or 6 threads in, just so that, you know, they're tight enough they're not going to fall out, but they're loose so everything can still move around. And did those two first. Then I went all the way to the back and put the back ones in. And for these back ones, you can see these metal clips I talked about a little bit earlier. They actually come out when you take the whole thing off, and you're just a little finicky to get put back in. But here's how they go. They're a little bit of a C, and they go through this little opening in the bottom channel. So what I did is kind of lift the whole thing into place, get the lip through, and then I finagled these around through the side. I finagled the clips around through the side, and just held them in place while I ran the screw through them. So now I just need to go through and tighten all of these up, fill the oil, and you know, check my levels, and it'll be all set. All right, so I'm now just letting it drain down as I've been filling up the oil, but I just wanted to go over tools needed. Normally this would be at the beginning of a video, but instead I'm going to do it at the very end because I wasn't planning on making the video when I started. So you need a flathead screwdriver or a pick just for the oil filter change. You'll need an 8mm Allen, could be an Allen wrench. In my case, I have a socket that's an Allen. If you're using a socket, you'll need a socket wrench and an extension. You will need a 10mm socket, possibly some extensions. That's for the majority of the bolts. I had said multiple times that there were like 11 of them. I think there's actually 12 or 13. I think I'm missing a few, but yeah, you've got a bunch of bolts to get. You'll want a bowl to collect all those bolts. You'll need a small Phillips Head Screwdriver. Depending on how creative you are, you could use a full-size Phillips Head, or if you take off the wheels, but having a small one's nice. You'll need a T25 bit or a screwdriver like this. Optionally, a T30 works on all those little 10mm bolts. There's a T30 inside of the 10mm socket. Need an oil filter wrench. This one is 74 to 76mm, or some other method of getting the housing undone. You'll need a filter, or a funnel, I'm sorry, an oil drain pan, and you'll need some patience. So this is a more difficult oil change than I expected, and yeah, definitely glad that it's something that I do like once a year on these, because I just don't drive the car that much. So thank you for watching the video if you made it this far, and I can't say that there's going to be that many more. I've got a very busy, full life, and that's why you see one video a year or so. Hope things are going well for you.